Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending your valuable time with the Adapt 2030 channel. As the world becomes more and more absurd, our history is about to be erased. All things internet about to be removed. Lawsuit removing the Wayback Machine, which will hide the cemetery of streetcars. General Motors responsible for removing 1950s public transportation, making you buy a car. Double narrative in your face, pandemics melting glaciers along with New Zealand taxing cow emissions. Great opportunity for cattle genetics and methane reduction and food efficiency though. As everybody was talking about the Alaskan king crab season shutting down. Oh, Noah threw a little one in here. 2022 red grouper season also slashed. CNN, you need to minimize your carbon paw print, meaning you need to go to smaller pets. Starting with a deep thought here, dreams are the seedlings of reality, and this third dimension that we're enveloped in is a morphable, bendable energy field. We need to take advantage of that to take our planet back. That knowledge that's hidden from the general populace is being used against us. These are the thoughts to contemplate as the leaves fall out of the trees around you. Decompression in nature and taking our planet back into balance. Problem is, to look for this type of information that's been cataloged through the Wayback Machine in different websites, the Association of American Publishers is suing the Internet Archive, otherwise known as the Wayback Machine, for willful mass copyright infringement. Hence the title, Could the Internet Archive Go Out Like Napster? And I like how they put it in the very last sentence there. This would be like burning of the Library of Alexandria. And over these last 30 years, what is contained in the Internet Archives that many would like to have removed? Everybody probably has 50 or 100 examples. This is at stake at the moment. So what would we be left with? What's on Google? What's been digitized in a library? Oh, it didn't fit what the timelines were for human history. It would be removed. What are we back to books again? Are we going really back to the 14th century where centralized control will be public libraries and repositories and centralized control over information? This is exactly where it seems like we're heading back to. Serfdom and control the flow of info that's only on printed materials. Which case in point, everybody's talking about electric cars, we need to save the environment. Okay, I get it. But let's just trace back again into 1950s and see where a little culpability lies here. Cemetery of streetcars, General Motors, the Island Terminal in California. Now, if the Internet Archive were removed, you would never find these images. Before we start, just a quick word from our sponsor. It's true carnage in the stock market, unlike anything we've seen. The average stock is down 41.7% from its 52-week high. More interest rates are expected. Meanwhile, gold is down only 8%, so it's proven to be a source of protecting wealth and a hedge against inflation. Call the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Patriot Gold Group has a no-fee-for-life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver, and you may qualify for the no fee for life IRA on qualifying rollovers. Give them a call, 888-546-7020 to get your free investor guide today. And now on with the video. So what is this anyway, this terminal area? Well, let's wide out to the story here. At the beginning of the 20th century, almost every U.S. town over 2,500 had its own electric railroad, rail system, even in Texas, oil country. Well, they ripped them all out as well. Now, 1974 report, again, this is archived U.S. Senate. They were looking at evidence, 1936 to 1950. Here's the players. General Motors, Firestone Tire, Standard Oil of California, Phillips Petroleum. They started creating shell companies, buying up all these electric railroad / trolley car companies, liquidating them, and there you go. That's a liquidated company. Guess what? Bottom paragraph. You're going to have to buy a car to move around now. Perhaps finger pointing needs to go back to the real polluters of the planet, not me and you. But again, Guardian picking it up. They're getting a little creative though, putting two narratives in a single headline. Next pandemic may come from melting glaciers, new data shows. And I'm only imagining what it would be if they were going for the trifecta in a single title. And now we see Trudeau government by 2030 also wanting to reduce fertilizer usage / emissions, just like we see happening in Europe. That's causing a lot of problems. So now you're telling me that Canada wants to slash its agricultural output by 30%. That's not very pro-farm now, is it? And who cares? Hey, triple food prices, that's a bargain. When this happens, you're going to be 5x, 6x. But you know what? You'll be on universal basic income, so it won't matter. And jumping to the bottom of the planet, same club, same rules, same people, same overseers, throwing the same garbage out here. New Zealand angers its farmers, taxing cow burps, start to pay for emissions from these cow by 2025. So what they want to do is remove all the cattle, turn them into hamburger, and that's the way they're going to do it. And lo and behold, I just got back from Nashville. I was a speaker at the Nashville Dairy Experience. California dairies, grain growers, they talked about this very same thing, cattle genetics, reducing methane output 5% per cattle generation, approximately 3 years. And also adding in food efficiency to target the absolute most correct diet for the cows to not release methane. So there are actually, within the industry, persons actively working on this because they know now this is a thing. And if it started with fertilizer reduction because of nitrous oxide or nitrogen emissions in parts of Europe and Canada, now they're going after the cattle in New Zealand. It's going to be a world thing. You know, it starts always in one country, then it's the next, and we already see it. Same players, same dictated orders, same top-down measures. I'm going to do it whether the citizenry likes it or not. You listen to me, I'm the leader, blah, blah, blah. We see this. But there is really active participation in the industry to address this, knowing that is going to be a key thing moving forward here. The industry is going to survive on this new tech through genetics, or it's not. And a quick shout out to Naughty Beaver. Also talking about farmers are more than willing to plant extra crops. And in the beginning of the video, thanks for featuring this little nugget. I forgot about it myself. So now you have, I don't know which organizations, talking about putting balls in space to reduce sunlight, to try to combat global warming. Well, you know what? The Tonga eruption beat you to it. We don't need your services, thanks very much. I'll take my money back from your carbon taxes and you owe me interest on that too. Now swinging over to the Alaska snow crab season, this made a bunch of headlines here just last week, canceling the entire season. Okay, what did not make news previously was there's another set of fisheries that have been closed by NOAA. Red grouper. They're withholding all the licenses this year. So that's the second fishery that has been closed. This is really telling because, you see they're trying to control the cattle on land, and now they're trying to control fisheries, protein sources out of the seas going into our supermarkets as well. It seems like an onslaught from all sides here. Current grouper production, annual catch is going to be limited and reduced by 2.53 million pounds. That's a lot of fish. And it's just going to continue. They're going to start checking the boxes. Check, 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 check. So let's take a look at the Alaska shutdown. They didn't give the full carnage of what is happening in terms of how many fishing boats are going to be put out of business, how many families are going to be thrown into abject poverty. National Fishermen does a great job covering this. So Alaskan Department of Fisheries canceled snow crabs, red king crabs, blue king crabs. Now you only heard Alaskan king crab. They didn't tell you it was all three of these species. But there is a smaller Bering Sea tanner crab that they did open the season for, which still gives some hope. But this is going to be absolutely devastating for the industry. It won't come back, and they will not fish these crab again. This is a one-time, knock it out at the knees. It's gone. It's not coming back. So once you read the article, at the end of it, you're almost sick to your stomach on how this industry, these families, these people are being taken out through agendas and narratives. I would just encourage you to read it and then look at how many people will be affected by this and wonder how many more fisheries and industries it is going to get taken out at the knees until we're literally only left with eating grubs, and that will be the only thing available. And because we do have butter with crab, which I love, let's talk about some alkaline approved oils for those of you going to stash some oils for long-term storable foods. Now remember, you're not going to be able to keep this forever. Make sure that you understand how long you can store oils, because they're going to go rancid. You know, you can't keep these things like you can a box of rice in a vacuum sealed bag or something. But coconut oil, olive oil, hemp seed oil, avocado, one of my favorites for salads, by the way. Grapeseed oil too, and sesame seed. But the sesame, I don't like the taste of that one at all. And cooking, obviously olive. But think about these other oils. And here's a wild fact. If you like coffee and you like coconut oil, if you put a little coconut oil in your coffee, the caffeine will bind to the oil and it won't run through you like it normally does. And you can extend that caffeine awakeness hours versus minutes. And just when you thought it couldn't get more absurd, well, enter CNN. Our pets are part of the climate problem. These tips can help minimize their carbon paw print. Oh, they just all play on words. Where do they get these brilliant writers? The four-legged friends don't drive gas-guzzling SUVs or use energy-sucking appliances, but that doesn't mean they don't have a climate impact. Pets play a significant role in the climate crisis, right there at the bottom. Significant? I thought an airplane was, but these little pups right here are significant. Their heavy meat diets contribute to the paw print. Oh, such brilliance. I wish I could have thought of a headline like this too, but you know. In fact, if you're a proud owner of a feline, you shouldn't think about switching their diet. So cats should get a pass, I guess. But see, YouTube, give me a pass because I'm doing my first cat video of my entire series. It's my first cat video. Yay. But dogs, on the other hand, omnivores. They don't necessarily need to have meat every meal, let alone a sirloin steak. Who's giving a sirloin steak to their dog? Okay, I get it. Christmas, something, holiday, once a year, birthday, whatever. I don't really know that many people that are giving sirloin steaks to their dogs. But, as always, insect-based pet foods. Oh, jeez. Again. Does it never end? Now, everything is insect-based now, but here's the follow-up on it. They want you to have smaller pets. Mice, birds, and turtles. Okay, well, those aren't very affectionate, and they're not really the cuddly friend that you need when the world's collapsing around you. But they do say smaller pets. I think it's actually getting to the absurd is what I'm thinking here. You know, this bevy of articles, I just shake my head and say, you know what? We're going to have to take the planet back, because if this continues, we will have no planet. We will have no civilization and no society. We will have serfdom is what we will have. And I'm not willing to go that route, and I hope you aren't willing to either. It's really time to bend the reality, take it back. I do thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Links are in the description box below so you can share this absurdity with your friends and family. And also join me every Thursday night, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. Ransom Godwin and myself throwing these same ideas around uncensored 2 hours. We're up on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio Studio A, and then we're broadcasting out on 8 different streaming platforms. We'll put the links out every single time in the community tab in the Adapt 2030 channel, so whatever venue you like, trying to bring more information out to get more conversations started. I'll see you next time.